So this is the entrance to the Manhattan Bridge. The Manhattan Bridge is like the thoroughfare of bike lanes, because one side of the bridge is a bike lane, the other side is a pedestrian. So it's a lot faster to get through. But it's really loud down here. Alright, so we're going to take the Manhattan Bridge. It's faster, but I don't think the views are better than the Brooklyn Bridge. Alright, I'll see you on the other side. See, the Manhattan Bridge is way faster to get over. The only thing slowing you down is slow cyclists, and they should always move to the back. Alright. It's also kind of tricky to get out of here because you're in the heart of Chinatown now. So I gotta navigate through a little bit, but I'll see you at the office. You see, the Manhattan Bridge is fine. It's lovely. But you can't see through the middle of the Manhattan Bridge because that's where the trains and the cars go. So if you're on the bike lane, you can't see downtown, and you can see uptown, and you can see the Empire State Building, which is lovely. But it's also a fence, you know, going up about 14 feet. So you're looking through a fence, and that's where all the cyclists are going by. So it's not like a place to appreciate the New York City skyline. And then if you want to see the downtown side, which is kind of the cooler side of downtown New York City, you have to walk, and which is, again, has that giant fence. So yeah, the Manhattan Bridge is the easiest and the best way to get from Brooklyn to Manhattan, but the Brooklyn Bridge, you're riding right down that middle. You have views on both sides. Yeah, you have to deal with the tourists, and yeah, you have to deal with you know, people getting in your way, but it's just a nicer view. And it does take you a couple minutes longer, but you know, I like the Brooklyn Bridge. I used to not like the Brooklyn Bridge, so for a lot of those same reasons, but it's just so beautiful, and you kind of get used to it, and it leaves me off like 3 minutes from the office. So just one of those things. I'm gonna go get something to eat for breakfast and some coffee, and I will be right back. So there's always this talk of work-life balance, like it's some magic number that you have that needs to balance out, that you need to only work this amount of time, and you need to spend this amount of time with your family, and you need to spend this amount of time, you know, sleeping and hanging out with friends, and that there's some perfect normal that makes everybody happy, and that no one can reach that unless you can't be happy unless you find that balance. And that balance is different for everyone. I mean, it's just like, oh, everybody has a normal, what a normal life is, with the white picket fence and 2.5 kids and the dog and the cat and the goldfish. It's not the reality. We all have different work-life balances, and that's okay. There is no perfect. You shouldn't be striving for perfect, or what other people think, or what other people say is perfect or is right for you. Work-life balance is about your life and your balance. And of course, you have to take into consideration your partner and your kids and your business and your responsibilities, but it's yours first, so you find your own work-life balance. Now, I found mine. I think it's different for creatives who work for themselves, because we really have a passion for what we do. So our work is our passion. So we don't have those side passions that a lot of other people have. But that's okay. That's fine. You know, I mean, I know people who go to sports events and people who love to go and eat crazy and interesting foods, and people who love to go out and party and club, and people who love to go and watch shows and stuff like that. And that's great. That's great. If they're happy, that's fantastic. I find happiness in the work that I do, in the creation of the projects that I do. So it's okay to have a work-life balance that doesn't necessarily fit the norm, because what is the norm? There is no normal, and it always changes. Your work-life balance will change. They change weekly, it changes monthly, it changes depending on what time of year it is. It changes from when you're in your 20s to when you're in your 30s, and you're in your 40s, and you're in your 50s. So you really can't hold yourself to any major standard. You're just doing the best you can. We're all just doing the best we can. That's all we can ever ask for, right? So I went over to the east side of Manhattan, taking video of the Brooklyn Bridge from this side, since I'm always taking it from the other side. It was a good week. Got a lot of stuff done, a lot of stuff to do next week. Played with a lot of things today, so I will see you next week. Have a good night.